folks, back with another reaction, back with some more Gary Numan and his Tubeway Army. We're going back to the self-titled album, 1978, and we're up to the tune, I have this right, My Shadow in Vain, a very poetic and literary style phrase. It's interesting though, shadow, it's not something, it's the absence of light, but of course it implies the presence of some object that is blocking the light, therefore casting the shadow. But a shadow in vain, it's such an interesting phrase, because something in vain is where effort, energy, maybe creativity has been put into something but not causing the pivotal outcome, or not playing out or coming to fruition due to something else superseding it, or countering it, or negating it. So for a shadow to be in vain is a very poetic and abstract expression. So yeah, I'm curious how it might come together. Perhaps it'll be less about that particular image, in terms of a narrative, but more just about the concept of the absence of something but implying something, but that something going in vain, not achieving or becoming what it might. So it's a really interesting phrase, but I'm not quite sure what to make of it, so let's get it. This is Tubeway Army. The tune is My Shadow in Vain, and it's from the 1978 self-titled album. Edge and grittiness to it. Toughness. And that smoky drone just added to that significantly. I love this.
I only think in black or white. Trying to look ashamed. Moving out of Central, somebody knows me well. Since you tell the whole story, made me lying like a cell. Make me inside, I keep my head to the floor. I'm wondering on the handle of the man saying no.
Not catching most of the lines though. The sonics
I only think in black and white. I don't even try to look ashamed.
judging for shadow.
My shadow, 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 my
Just gonna walk us to the end.
my shadow, my shadow, my shadow, my shadow.
Really cool tune. Lyrically, I just caught bits and pieces, certainly not enough to get a sense of how the phrase was being used, although obviously we heard a repetition of the phrase at the end. But yeah, the bits that I did catch, yeah, I don't know, it sounded something like, what was the line before? There was like a line that I was surprised to hear at the end, or near the end, that preceded the main phrase, My Shadow in Vain, and of course now I'm blanking on it. But yeah, I didn't really get a sense for what it's about, but sonically fantastic. It has that, late 70s, very early 80s punk slash post-punk feel. Also an electric grit and electric edge to it. That drone in particular was really nice. It sort of gave it a, industrial new wave sort of feel. So yeah, really cool track. Ultimately, I'm glad that it was suggested, I think by Han Solo, but there were a couple other people who, after the first few Gary Numan reactions, are like, it would actually be good to get a sense of the Tubeway Army stuff, just so you know where he was when he gets to the pleasure principle, which again, good shout. And like I said, I'm sure Han Solo has said this before. There's been a few times where people have brought something to my attention or suggested I do something, and then Han Solo is like, I actually did mention that about a month ago. Nevertheless, yeah, a good idea. And ultimately, I may go back and do some Gary Numan tracks from Pleasure Principle while we continue to go through the Tubeway Army album. But either way, a really cool tune. Like I said, that new wave industrial grit, I was enjoying that. A mixture of some different flavors that I enjoy, dissonant electronic stuff, but also, vintage kind of punk sounds. So, yeah, bottom line, really cool tune. Let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.